When you first build an AI agent, giving it a ton of tools and knowledge feels like a massive design win, right? But I've seen it time and time again. As the business scope expands, that centralized simplicity quickly turns into a massive architectural liability. To understand exactly when it's time to evolve, we really need to dig into the architectural logic of moving beyond a single agent in Copilot Studio. Let's look at what that actually means structurally. So, what are we actually building here? In a multi-agent architecture, responsibilities are deliberately distributed. Why? Because the workload simply exceeds what one single agent can efficiently manage. As an architect, you have to stop forcing one monolithic entity to handle billing inquiries, technical troubleshooting, and account changes all at the exact same time. It's just not scalable. Instead, you deploy an orchestration layer. Think about the flow. The user input hits the orchestrator first. This orchestrator acts like an intelligent traffic cop, seamlessly delegating tasks down to specialized agents without creating a system bottleneck. Each agent focuses strictly on what it does best. But, understanding this dynamic naturally brings us to the specific threshold that actually triggers this architectural shift.
Right, so when do you actually make the jump? The most reliable signal that you desperately need a multi-agent approach is routing accuracy degradation. And this typically happens right around the 30 to 40 action threshold. When a single agent reaches this volume of topics and tools, the orchestration layer literally starts struggling with the complex math of routing precision. Now, here's the kicker, and what trips up a lot of architects. This is not a hard system limit. Agents with way fewer actions can hit this exact same performance ceiling simply because there's semantic overlap in their tool descriptions. To really grasp the operational impact of this limit, we can examine a typical enterprise failure point. Consider Fabricam's customer support agent. This case perfectly demonstrates operational degradation in the real world. They had a single agent where billing workflows, technical troubleshooting sequences, and account management actions all accumulated in one massive pile. And to make matters worse, they were maintained by entirely different teams. Well, once they surpassed that 40 action mark, routing just became wildly inconsistent. Simple billing queries started erroneously triggering technical workflows. Even worse, updates deployed by one domain team would unexpectedly break behavior owned by another team. It was a complete mess. Redesigning this as a multi-agent system allowed each domain team to independently maintain their specialist agent, while an orchestrator cleanly routed the customer. Now that we've established the why, we really must differentiate between the two technical implementation paths this solution can take.
Okay, in Copilot Studio, multi-agent solutions are split into two core forms: child agents and connected agents. Child agents are built directly inside your main agent. They provide really vital internal modularity and keep your architecture totally free of external dependencies. Connected agents, on the flip side, are separately deployed entities that your main agent communicates with at runtime. You can use these independently or mix and match them, but your architectural reasoning fundamentally comes down to this. Do you just need simple internal organization, or do you need entirely separate runtime deployments with independent governance? But listen, routing limits aren't the only deciding factor here. Specific enterprise triggers will often force your hand.
Even if you haven't hit that 40 action routing limit we talked about, specific enterprise requirements will absolutely force a multi-agent design. Let's say your solution spans multiple independent teams, like you'd see in a massive BPO automation environment. Or maybe it requires entirely separate authentication and security controls for fintech or govtech applications. In those cases, you absolutely need isolated agents. The exact same logic applies if you have distinct application lifecycle management or ALM processes for different components. Furthermore, if you're building an agent capability that's going to be reused as a shared service across multiple orchestrators, or it needs independent channel publishing, a multi-agent structure suddenly becomes an absolute architectural requirement. But hey, before you go and fragment your cloud environment, you must always validate against the baseline. Look, introducing orchestration to a focused FAQ bot creates unnecessary overhead without adding a single ounce of actual value to the user or the business. A single agent architecture remains the appropriate baseline when your solution responds to a single task intent, is managed by a small cohesive developer team, utilizes a unified security configuration, and won't be reused by other orchestrators in your tenant. It's just common sense. A single agent handles the job cleanly, it's vastly easier to test, and it completely avoids the external network latency that gets introduced by distributed systems. To really understand why we aggressively avoid this unnecessary complexity, we have to trace the execution flow of an orchestration hub. Here is where the architecture really impacts operations. Every connected agent you add to a system introduces orchestration hops, and that is an absolutely critical performance consideration for real-time cloud systems. Think about it. Step 1, The main agent has to process the user intent and identify the correct connected agent. Step 2, this triggers an extra round trip over the network, introducing hard latency to the transaction. Step 3, the connected agent's own orchestration layer then has to spin up, evaluate, and process the request. In real-world AI applications, these extra hops add noticeable latency to the end-user experience. You are forced to weigh if the logical separation is actually worth the performance cost. And furthermore, this distributed execution fundamentally alters your system's security posture.
You have to realize that the governance surface massively expands with every single connected agent you deploy. Instead of monitoring one neat little system, you are now entirely responsible for separate transcript generation, distinct security endpoints, and the incredibly complex challenge of correlating logs across different sessions. This right here introduces a major Azure AI pitfall: privilege escalation risks. Because connected agents run their own independent orchestration layers, they can actually possess access to back-end data that the parent agent completely lacks. You must rigorously ensure that calling a connected agent doesn't inadvertently bypass your main entry point's strict security restrictions. And that critical realization brings us to your final architectural verdict.
So, the absolute crucial decision relies entirely on your actual operational boundaries. Does your scope genuinely span multiple domains? Does it involve distinct teams owning completely different parts? Is it pushing the limits of routing accuracy? Or is it just a focused, single-purpose solution that one agent can handle cleanly and efficiently? The right architectural choice isn't the one with the most agents or the highest level of complexity. It's the one that perfectly balances the benefits of modularity against the harsh realities of latency and governance overhead. You need to evaluate your enterprise boundaries carefully before committing to your Copilot Studio architecture.